Hey everybody, welcome to Cult Fiction. Today we are trying something a little bit new. We're going to be doing a spotlight episode on Jude Law in honor of Skeleton Crew and his remarkable performance. What I thought was a remarkable performance in Skeleton Crew. I really liked it. So what we're going to do is we're going to
Really
we're going
like
to
Goonies.
yeah, Goonies in space. We're going to go around and talk about our favorite Jude Law stuff. And then we're going to put together a Mount Rushmore, our top four of Jude Law's stuff that he's been in, talk that out, come up with our list, and then we're going to do an over/under on Jude Law, which is the most overrated thing he's done and the most underrated thing he's done, and then maybe revisit the Mount and change some things, and see how it goes. So let me kick us off. I want to there's a couple of movies where I really liked it, that his performance that maybe you guys haven't seen or maybe you don't remember. The first is AI. His performance as Joe, the android Joe in AI. I thought that was I thought that was really cool, really interesting. I don't know if you guys remember that. Hey Joe, what do you know? Right, the whole like Jude Law is a robot thing. I thought he pulled it off remarkably well. And then second one is something that maybe you guys haven't seen is Alfie, which is a remake of an old Michael Caine movie. That was it was like a narrated movie, right? Where it was broke down the fourth wall, where he's talking to you during the course of the movie. And I thought he did a really he did that as a younger guy too, and I thought he did a really good job in that movie. There was another one he was in called Sleuth with Michael Caine that he did a great job in as well. I really like Jude Law. I like a lot of the stuff that he's been in. There's other stuff that I could certainly talk about. For my pick though, for my favorite performance of his has to be as Watson in the Sherlock Holmes movies, right? I mean, I think he just nailed it. I think he and Robert Downey Jr. had such great chemistry in those movies that I could watch him over and over again and just really enjoy him. So that's my vote for the Mount, is going to be his role as Watson in Sherlock Holmes 1 and 2. And we go now to Eric. What's your take on Jude Law?
So, I'm gonna be the Debbie Downer. I realize I'm not a Jude Law fan. I
Uh-oh.
realized while looking through his stuff that I'm not a fan. I don't really care about almost any of his projects.
Not even in Captain Marvel?
He loves
No,
Captain Marvel.
no, don't care about Captain Marvel.
Favorite
Um,
movie.
I will say my favorite role of his was Watson.
Right.
That was what I was gonna say too, was Watson and Sherlock Holmes. I'll also say I enjoyed him in a movie called Spy.
Right.
with
With
um
Melissa
with Melissa
McCarthy.
McCarthy.
Right.
Um
I never saw that.
That was good. That was
yeah,
funny.
it was funny. That was at like the height of her powers, I think.
Right.
Melissa McCarthy's star. Um yeah, so I was looking and I'm like, saw it, barely remember it, saw it, barely remember it, never didn't even want to see it, didn't want to see it. But those Sherlock Holmes movies, I love them. I love them. Just like you, if they were on right now, I'd watch one of them,
Right.
like 100%. Uh, so yeah, I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna be the guy. Like I'm not a fan, actually. I
Hmm.
like him being in a movie or a show does not do anything for me. So
What did you think of him in Skeleton Crew, though?
he was fine. I feel like, but anybody could have done that.
Really?
I feel like you could have stuck like some other decently named actor, and he would
We're
have
gonna
done
fight later. We're gonna box.
he would have done like relatively the same role. I felt like um
I'm gonna have to beat you
uh
to the ground now.
you
That's
know like
just
the like I mean his acting is fine. He doesn't do
fine.
anything. I don't know. It's weird. I felt like the directing was good on Skeleton Crew. I felt like the writing was good. They didn't leave too many holes, all that kind of stuff. Speaking of which, I noticed in one of the episodes, I want to say the one where they did the battery in the back of the head of
KB.
female LaForge.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, that she I think that was done by Dallas Bryce Harper
Yes,
or
yes, it
Howard,
was.
right?
Yes, it was.
Um, give her something. Like give like I'm gonna go on a small tangent. if Star Wars keeps wanting to like make the Force female and all that kind of stuff, why are you not giving her a project? She's like more than shown that she's capable with like her directing in Mandalorian and whatnot. And then that was a great episode. I'm like, I feel like she gets Star Wars.
Right,
I
right.
feel like she gets it. I don't understand why she's not getting a bigger role. Anyway, we're talking about Jude Law. Go ahead.
Okay, let's go. Let's go to Bueller, so that my anger can subside at somebody who doesn't appreciate Jude Law.
You ready, bro?
Yeah.
Bueller.
So first off, Bryce Dallas Howard's biggest role is her butt, which I applaud daily. Very, very nice. It's well rounded. I would like to say.
We're talking about Jude Law.
So moving on to Jude Law. No, I mean I kind of agree. Like we talked about before we started this podcast, he's not a draw. He's not somebody who is like, oh, Jude Law's in this movie. Let's go watch the new Jude Law flick. It's just that's not something anybody says ever. But on that note, I mean, he's got some great roles in some great movies, and I'm so glad that you started off with Sherlock Holmes because man, those movies are fantastic. And I
They
mean,
were great.
obviously,
Yeah.
RDJ does a great job being Sherlock, but I don't know if RDJ would have done as great of a job without playing off somebody like Jude Law. I think
Right.
Jude Law is a great actor for main characters to bounce things off of. I think
He's a
really
straight man. Yeah, he's a great straight man. That's what he was in Spy too.
yeah, he's a
That's true,
phenomenal
right.
he's a phenomenal straight man, and
Right, right.
he's so good to get other actors to come out of their shells and do things that maybe you wouldn't see them do with another supporting actor. Um, on that note, the Skeleton Crew, which is why we're doing this, I want to say Skeleton Crew is about as close as you can come to making a movie with nothing but Muppets and one real actor. And Jude Law was the one real actor with a bunch of Muppets, with the exception of A Christmas Carol with Michael Caine.
Yeah.
But you know, anyway, so for me, I know I don't want to take this from anybody, but I'm going to go ahead and take it. Gattaca is the movie for me. That's
Great movie.
It was a
the
great
flick,
movie.
dude. It's just such a damn good movie, and I know that's going to be on our mount. I know it is. So that being said, I'll save one for the over under. And maybe I should save my other one for the over under, but I'm not going to because you know what I'm going to say. You know the movie I'm going to say.
What's
All
that?
of you know what it is. Rise of the Guardians.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Rise
yeah,
of the
yeah.
Guardians. That's right.
Right.
Rise of the Guardians.
He was in that, wasn't he?
He was
Yeah.
the bad guy, dude. He was
Yeah. He was
the boogeyman.
the boogeyman. Yeah.
And his pitch, his boogeyman was so good.
I
Man.
watched that because you said it was good, and it was good. I liked it. It was
It's
good.
super fun and enjoyable, and I really like the way that he plays pitch and the way he makes the boogeyman the bad guy. He makes him very dark, very mysterious, very scary, especially if you're a kid watching the movie. And it's voice acting, but it's still acting, and I enjoy him in that movie. Between him and Alec Baldwin playing Santa Claus.
Right. He played a great Santa.
Dude, those two guys make the movie for me. And yeah, Hugh Jackman's in there doing a great job. Isla Fisher's in there doing a great job. But ultimately it's Jude Law and Alec Baldwin that make the movie for me. So I'm gonna stick with Rise of the Guardians for my pick.
All right.
And
All
I
right.
think what Joe said is important when he said, it's as close to having one real actor in the Muppets. Just because I don't like Jude Law doesn't mean he's not a good actor, right? Like I can still recognize that he's talented, but he just doesn't do anything for me. It's like watching a talented musician playing a type of music that you're not really into. Like you should be able to just go, oh, well, they've obviously got some talent. It's just not my genre or something like that, right? I've never been a Metallica fan, right? It would be stupid of me to say Metallica sucks,
Right.
right? Metallica clearly does not suck. I just don't like it, I was a Guns N' Roses kid, and not a Metallica kid, but to say Metallica sucks would be silly. So
So-
I don't want to make it seem like I think that Jude
So
Law
what you're
is
saying is
not.
Jude Law is like Metallica.
Yes, he is. He is talented. He is talented.
All right.
You all right?
He just doesn't.
I will
He just
forgive you.
doesn't put. He just doesn't put this fan in the stands.
All right.
And
All right.
on that note, I would like to take back everything I said about Dave Matthews Band in 2002, because I know what I said in 2002, and I take it all back. I'm still not a fan, but I appreciate and respect Dave Matthews Band.
Respect the musician. Respect the musician.
Okay, from Jude Law to Metallica to
That's
Dave
right. Jude
Matthews
Law.
Band.
So Jude Law is like Metallica. That's what Eric says, Alex. What do you think?
So yeah, I was actually going through his list of movies, and I was kind of hit me the same way as Eric. I mean, I think he's a great actor, but he doesn't seek like the spotlight. He doesn't seek, big commercial movies and stuff like that. So his movies are generally kind of smaller fare and stuff that not everybody's gonna go see, So I went back and I watched something that I'd never seen before called Side Effects, which was like a little Steven
Right.
Soderbergh movie,
Right.
And it's real subtle. It's the kind of movie that, that's not going to get a lot of play in a lot of theaters and a lot of popularity. It's just a smaller kind of movie for a smaller audience. And that's the kind of movie that he tends to do, I think. And so I wanted to rewatch, actually, probably my favorite Jude Law movie is Cold Mountain from back in 2000.
Is that the one with Kidman?
That's the Civil War one.
Oh.
That was a fantastic movie. And he was great in that. That's one of those movies because we talk about he's a straight man, and it's kind of like it sells him a little bit short. He's not one of the people that chew the scenery and you really he's not Willem Dafoe where he's like
right,
or Gary Oldman where he's like this mimic where he just transforms and takes over a scene. He's just sort of like an anchor and for everything else. And he's always believable, but he's never. Probably his performance is probably never the most memorable in the movie, but he's always just a solid, good actor in anything. Cold Mountain's my favorite.
Okay.
It's like I've tried, and that's such a good movie. And
Cold Mountain is your pick for the mount?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. All right. Gus, what have you got for Jude Law?
All right. So first of all, I didn't know this guy existed until last week. I forgot. So obviously he's very on the street. So anyway, I don't think he's a good actor. Perdition. Right? I watched Road to Perdition.
I don't even think he does movies.
Oh, he's done like 8 movies. He's done like 8 fucking movies.
You didn't like him in Road to Perdition?
Not astronaut. He's got the movie where he smashes Cindy Crawford's business, that one weird swingers movie, and then
you're making stuff up now.
Superhero. I don't know. So anyway, I watched Road to Perdition because it's the
astronaut and something.
It's the only thing on his filmography that I can stomach.
So what we found out is that Gus actually watched a bunch of Jude Law movies.
So I watched the flick. I think most of you know.
Jude Law.
Jude Law.
The straight to video Jude Law.
This is like the last Tom Hanks movie I liked. I can't stand this fucking guy, but I watched the movie because it's a good movie. The thing I will say about Jude Law.
Astronaut?
What's that? No, the astronaut movie. He's like not
Gattaca.
Right?
Okay.
And then he did some other swingers movie with like Clive Owen and like Cindy Crawford or some shit, or that one chick who's the vegan. I don't know. Whatever. It's a bunch of movies that are not fucking movies. Eric was right. Eric was absolutely right. It's a bunch of like, I don't know if I've
been so confused about being right in my life.
I don't know how this guy gets jobs. I don't know if he's high up in the union. Because I know sometimes if you're real high in the union, you don't
Mason.
You just show up.
Right.
I don't know how this works. I'm not a Hollywood. I like Hollywood. I like going there. But whatever. So, but the thing about him in Road to Perdition, I might be saying it right, I might be saying it wrong, is that like the whole movie is really Tom Cruise, right? There's barely any dialogue in the flick, right? There's like
Tom Hanks. Tom
Hanks. My bad.
Like shit, that's not the guy then. No.
There's barely any dialogue.
Starring Hog Takes and Jude Law.
It's really
Oh, hold on.
Todd Hanks.
no. Let him finish. Let him finish.
No.
Sorry.
Seriously, he plays a really good supporting actor. He's almost invisible. Like if you watch it, you're like, whoa, dude, this guy's barely even there. It's a weird character. It's kind of a weird movie. I'm not sure what the movie's supposed to be about. I think it's bullshit. But like he actually plays a pretty good role in it. Like where I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, I didn't know this guy existed until seriously 8 days ago.
So you don't like Jude Law, but you'll accept him in Road to Perdition.
He did a pretty good job. The one where he's an astronaut's a better flick.
Have you seen Gattaca?
The one where he's the astronaut?
Jesus Christ, Gattaca. He's not an astronaut.
What is he?
He's
a Martian.
He wants to be an astronaut.
He's a paraplegic who's selling his DNA so Ethan Hawke can be an astronaut.
Yeah, that's
right. That's what Gus said.
Oh yeah,
Same thing.
Paraplegic Superman. Yeah, I read that comic book.
Wow. All right. Before we all get hit by lightning, maybe we can come to an accord on the mount. So we'll start with Sherlock Holmes. That's going to be Space One, right? Watson and Sherlock Holmes. Let's say both movies.
The Jude Law astronaut movie.
Jude Law astronaut movie. Gattaca. Road to Perdition is Gus's vote. Right, it's the only one he can stomach, and Cold Mountain from Alex.
Yeah. Okay.
So funny story.
All right.
Funny story. Since we're going back around now, we're doing our over under. My overrated movie is Cold Mountain for Jude Law.
Fuck.
So Alex and I are gonna have to slap box later. That's just the way it is. I thought that Cold Mountain was a great movie, but I thought that Jude Law was actually the weakest part of it.
It was underrated, but it was great.
Yeah, I thought they didn't give him enough variation. Like he just basically was this morose guy in every scene. You know, it was just like he was sad in every scene. There wasn't a lot of range for him to really find anything, do anything that I thought was interesting. And for his underrated, I actually think his performance in Contagion was underrated.
That's a solid pick, dude.
Right? He played well because he played a character that was really important to the movie. It was kind of a small part, but it was like nothing he'd ever done before. Right? What were you gonna say?
I don't remember him at all in that movie.
Really?
And that was my third favorite movie on his list. My third favorite movie on his filmography was Contagion, and I don't remember him at all in that movie.
Wow, he played the guy that was like trying to con people into taking a cure that didn't work for Scythia.
I remember.
He had like a social media following.
He was a snake oil salesman.
He had like a weird tooth. They gave him like a fake tooth that was kind of out of alignment, so it gave him a weird presence.
Right around on a bike.
He was on a bike. He had like a homemade
oil thing
suit, you know, and he was trying to tell people that this homeopathic cure was working against the plague when clearly it wasn't. And he ended up getting arrested at the end of the movie.
Yeah, he played a good character there. I will say.
So, but as much as I appreciate Cold Mountain as a film, I don't think that it was his film to shine in. I think that that he did a passable job, but I wasn't really impressed by it. That's just my take. So over under, do you have an over under, Eric? Is there
So my what I think is funny is we have two people here who are very big Harry Potter fans, and neither of you brought up the fact that this guy played Dumbledore, like young Dumbledore.
Right.
And so you're solidifying.
Because Secrets of Dumbledore was not a very good movie.
But you're solidifying how mid he is. Because you fucking love that shit. And
I love Harry Potter, but I never really got into the Forbidden Beasts series.
Yeah, the Fantastic Beasts was the first one was good. I thought.
Fantastic Beasts.
But
I only saw the first one actually.
Yeah, the other two were just okay.
I only saw the second, but I didn't see the third.
So my underrated is going to be Spy because I don't think anybody really ever thinks of Jude Law when they think Spy.
Okay.
So I'll give him that. And then his overrated is everything else, with the exception of Watson.
Rated, bro.
Man.
Dude, have you seen Gattaca, Eric?
A long time ago. That thing came out like 25 years ago or more.
Yeah.
2003.
And,
Oh,
yeah, no. You know how
yeah.
I know that? Because Ethan Hawke was the fucking lead in that movie.
Right.
That's how I know that movie is fucking 30 years old. So,
Because now he looks homeless.
yes. No. Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a long time since I saw Gattaca.
Yeah.
Like a long time.
Yeah.
Probably 28 years.
I think it holds up. I think it's still good. All right, Mr. Bueller, you got an over/under for Jude Law? I'm just trying to appreciate some Jude Law, and I'm just getting static.
Yeah, it's kind of hard because like it's again, I thought this was a good character to kick it off with, per your decision with Scullis and crew, but it's also a difficult character to kick it off with because his filmography is a lot of supporting actor roles, and he's not a huge standout. And going back to what Gus was saying, I think he's famous and he's an actor and he does what he does because if maybe this doesn't make any sense, but he gives good face. So
No, I get what you're saying. He's got a presence.
he's got good presence, and he, like what you guys say about Vincent D'Onofrio's finger acting in as
Right.
Lupin, his expression, he's got really good expressions. He gives really good face. He's got really good expressions, and if you watch him in any role that he plays, his face acting, if that's a term, is pretty damn good, man. Like he just he really over exaggerates his expressions to a point to where he's enjoyable to see on screen. So maybe that's why he's stuck around for so long, and maybe that's why he still gets parts. But
Right.
maybe
You know,
that's
that
also
makes
why
that makes me think of a movie that we haven't even mentioned yet, The Talented Mr. Ripley.
see, and I forgot he was in that one, but you're right.
Where he was like the, the patriarch that the dude was obsessing over, and he in that movie he had his such strong facial expressions.
He really, and he does, and that's one of the things that I do appreciate about Jude Law as an actor is how he is able to do that with close ups on film,
Mm,
and he portrays a lot of emotions with just his face.
mhm.
That being said, moving on from that, uh, Enemy at the Gates hasn't come up yet.
Yeah,
I think,
good flick.
That's a good
I
one.
think that deserves to be thrown out there.
He's in that.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
Yeah.
He's in the. Is he the brother?
He's the main character in The Enemy at the Gates.
Oh, so
He's
he
the sniper.
He was an astronaut in the Enemy at the
She
Gate.
was.
Oh man.
Oh, that's the one I watched.
Fuck is it?
he was an astronaut sniper, Gus.
Right.
See,
That was
I think this is why this is a good one to do, because there's a myriad of opinions,
Right,
right?
right.
It's like
right.
we're all like 80s kids, really, right? We're all 80s kids, and if we did, Schwarzenegger first, it'd be like, oh, Commando, bro, oh,
Right, sure.
fucking Predator, bro, Terminator 2, bro, they're like, we'd all have the same.
Yeah, but we'd be right.
Yeah, of course, right?
That's true.
Of course.
That's true.
But we would all be saying the same thing. Be like, oh, red heat. Oh.
No, I think I stand by my decision that this is a good choice for a
No,
first
it is
round.
good. It is good because there's literally 5 different varying degrees of how much we like Jude Law here. You know.
Right. So, Enemy at the Gates. Just a side note. Rachel Weisz is in that. I thought that had like one of the best romantic scenes like in movie history. That like where he and Rachel Weisz are like in the sleeping bag. I thought that was great. Anyway, I don't know why I felt like sharing that. It was super hot.
Yeah, me neither. That was a
True
little weird, dude.
I'm still gonna say True Detective season 1 on that.
Okay, fair enough. Fair
I
enough.
think we all know it's
Going back to that.
It involves a couch. That's all I'm gonna say.
I also want to throw out, just because I enjoy this movie, Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil.
That was a great movie.
Good flick.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. Caitlin, when I talked to her about this idea, and we don't have a female perspective on this show, so I just wanted to bring in hers. The Holiday. That's her
Yeah.
favorite
Okay. All right.
Law flick. She loves that one, and I'm like, that's something that we don't have here, so that's a valued opinion. And so The Holiday is actually a pretty solid pick for Jude Law. My dumbass pick, and I don't know if this is overrated or underrated, but I'm gonna throw it out there anyway, is Repo Men.
Okay. All right.
Never
That's
saw it.
Fucking,
with Forrest Whitaker,
it's
right?
fucking Forrest Whitaker,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
man.
That was an interesting movie. Yeah.
You know what? You know what's
I
funny?
never saw it because I thought it was a sequel to the Emilio Estevez movie, and it's not at all.
No.
It's not,
Okay,
and it's
so-
also not. It's also not Repo the musical either. It's
Right.
it's
Right.
completely
It's
different.
its own thing.
I watched The Holiday with my wife, and I liked it. I liked it.
Yeah,
I
it
thought
was-
it was pretty. I thought it
good.
was good. He's the one person out of the four I don't remember.
You've got some kind of like allergy
I
to
know.
Jude
I have
Law.
like
That's
a
what it is.
like that thing where you can't recognize faces.
Right.
Just with him though.
Jude Law
It's
dysphoria.
like
I have
Jude Law cited.
dysphoria.
You've gone smell blind, but just for Jude Law.
Right.
Just for
Right.
Jude Law.
I'm anxious to hear Alex's over under on Jude Law. What do you got, man?
For underrated, I think I might actually do the movie I just watched, which was Side Effects, because that was a movie that's like, I don't know, did you see it? Anybody see it besides me?
I saw it. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
good.
Because in
Subtle.
a movie that, you're watching it and you don't
Jude
quite
Law?
know if you like it, if it's enjoyable, Like, okay, I'm enjoying it, then I don't know, and then it's okay. It's like, but it's not until the end of the movie where you really make a decision whether or not you like the movie or not. And Jude Law is just anchor through the whole thing. It's like if you're not into his story, into his plight, it's not going to vibe with you at all. And it's an understated movie, so it's kind of a low-key performance. But I think without his character and his performance in that movie, it wouldn't work. So if my overrated is, the Sherlock Holmes sequel because it was ass, and it's like, I really dug Sherlock Holmes, the first one. I thought it was a really good movie, and then the sequel was just garbage trash.
How was the second? How
You
could you
shut
like
your
the first
whore
one
mouth.
and not the second one? It was the
It's
same
just
movie.
So stupid. I mean, everything about that was like terrible.
You're
but
stupid.
It's what it is. But I love the first one. The first one was great.
What? Jared Harris was in the second one. It
But-
can't. Jared Harris was in this.
if somebody's in the movie, that makes it good. I don't think
Yeah,
so.
you can't have a
No.
bad movie with Jared Harris in it.
Yeah, the sequel was a terrible movie. It was poorly written. And Guy Ritchie, the director, that is like, he has a style that either works or it doesn't. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And
Okay.
if it works, then it's great. But as much as I was super disappointed with that movie, all around, it shouldn't exist.
All right, Gus.
And people
Gus.
shouldn't like it.
Gus is gonna have two overrated movies. That's
So
he's not gonna have it underrated.
First, I have to ask. Someone has to answer me honestly. So, Enemy at the Gate, the World War II flick. He plays a Soviet sniper. Facilities, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Here's the problem. When I started thinking about Jude Law, no, this like I know I've been kind of crazy this episode, but like, and don't worry, I'm gonna cap it off with some crazy. But like, I was like, fuck, I know he was in a World War II movie. All right, which leads me which is Enemy at the Gate, fantastic movie, and it's a really cool story. Like, and it's based after a true story, but I couldn't remember that he was in this fucking flick. He's not rememberable. He's like the best, whatever. No disrespect, Jude Law. We don't have to have beef.
But maybe he's so good you didn't see Jude Law. You saw the character he
Okay,
played, motherfucker.
Exactly.
I'm sure you're right.
Exactly.
I'm sure you're right because I like TV as a box. He missed his calling. His presence, he would have been the best silent film actor ever. No.
I get that.
Like when
Because
I
he's
was,
so expressive.
yeah, it's very like and
Just put a Charlie Chaplin mustache on him and silence him, and you're good.
I have nothing to contribute. I have absolutely nothing to contribute. Like, first of all, Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. All
Nothing to
right.
contribute but your endless
Fucking
charm, Gus.
We're gonna make Gus pick the next spotlight so that we have so he has more to talk about. I think that's what we're gonna do.
It's hard when
Uh,
I watch movies. I just want to wear the
Gus
mask.
would pick like Bob Vila or something. Like,
But Alex, we were
So
talking
we
about
got-
motorcycles and shit.
hang on, we got the Sherlock Holmes, we got Gattaca, we got what was the third one?
I don't think we have a third and fourth.
We don't have a third and fourth.
well,
Well,
I think
Alex,
you and Eric both have Sherlock Holmes, basically.
right? Sherlock Holmes, Gattaca, Cold Mountain,
Gus would probably pick Enemy at the Gate if he had.
Enemy at the Gates.
If I had to pick one, I would pick that because, like, right now, I would watch it. Like, if you were like, "Hey, yo, check what I got," I'd be like, "Let's do it now."
I kind of want to pick Skeleton Crew. Like, I really liked him in Skeleton Crew.
I almost picked like Skeleton Crew for my favorite role, except I just didn't like the reveal that he actually was the Jedi.
Right.
I was disappointed with that.
Right, or at least the Jedi in training. Like he wasn't an actual Jedi.
Man.
I mean, if we're being honest here, if we did Gattaca, Sherlock Holmes, Enemy at the Gates, and Skeleton Crew, I wouldn't be mad at that.
Gattaca's a good flick.
I would.
All right.
Gattaca's a good flick.
Alex wants Cold Mountain. So Cold Mountain. Okay, let's do around the table. Cold Mountain versus Skeleton Crew. I vote Skeleton Crew.
Who has seen Cold Mountain?
Yeah, see,
I
that's
have
the
not
problem.
seen
Yeah.
Cold Mountain.
We
have-
all saw Skeleton Crew on purpose. So
Yeah. All right. Well, that I guess Skeleton Crew wins.
By default, it wins. We can leave it up to the votes in the comments. If you're watching,
Yeah, there you go.
subscribe, and comments.
That's
and let us
right.
know your
there you go.
favorite
Let the
flick.
people decide.
Let the people decide. If we made a horrible mistake putting Skeleton Crew over Cold Mountain, then let us know. And next spotlight, Gus, you're gonna pick it. So
I'm
pick
picking
a good one. Catch you guys next week. See you later.